welcome to the stage Regina.
Hi, I'm Regina, and unlike Drake, I do not have 99 problems. I only have one. I have a major problem with how I've been taught and how my younger brother and my younger sister continue to be taught. I struggle to understand how the whole educational system works. I struggle to understand that why is it that somehow acceptable that we have excellent, effective curriculum working in the private schools, but we still have government schools lagging behind. And I also struggle to understand why is it that I was only allowed to divide and to multiply and to use bracket when I was in grade 6. And in my whole entire 12 years of primary school and high school learning, I never got to be taught about beads. I love beads. I love the beautiful colors. I love the melodies that they make. But I never got a chance to learn about beads. And I remember I used to fantasize in grade 7 when natural science was being introduced to me. I used to fantasize about the days where I get a chance to discuss beads. And it never happened. I guess I could have Googled if I was that keen and teach myself all the things that I wanted to know about beads. But like many million South African school-age children in South Africa, I did not have access to internet. And that is still a reality to many more out there. So I started to think, and I realized that the reason I did not study the melodies of beads is because things are standardized. Things are standardized for the sake of measuring how person A is doing to person B. And I kind of understand why some systems should be standardized, but I have a problem with standardizing education. I have a problem because I feel like in the whole process, we lose out as a human being. We lose out on people's contributions. We lose out on people's creative ideas. But yeah, it's another story for another day and maybe another TED Talk. Today, I would like to tell you how I got to unite the entertainment world with the education world. I had an idea that I'm going to build arcade machines and install them with games that are aligned with the school curriculum and maybe complement what is missing in the school curriculum. Things about beads, and maybe we can make games on how to educate primary school kids on entrepreneurship and so forth. And let me tell you how this all came about. I was raised in Hammerskraal, very north of Pretoria. My parents are running entertainment centers. They're running entertainment centers in townships, in villages, semi-suburbs. And we have a lot of kids coming to play our games every after school. It gets so packed, and we make a good money after that. But that's half of the story, because the full story is we have angry mothers coming to complain to my parents that their kids are not attending to their books, they're not doing their homeworks, they're always at the centers and playing. So that was a problem. But fortunately, it was also an opportunity for me to tap in and learn about beads somehow. So I started emailing everyone about this concept. I started telling everyone how we can make games to teach the world. We can make games to take to Google it to where people don't have access to internet or other complementary resources. I went to NGOs. I went knocking on the Department of Education doors. I went to potential investors, telling them about this brilliant idea that I had, and it would change the world. But the response was not that good. It was actually bad. A lot of them responded, "You're too ambitious. You're too young. Can you even make these missions? Do you know what it takes to run a business? Have you run a big corporate before? I mean, I was 19. I never got a chance to run a business. And they were asking, okay, let's say you can make them. Would the kids love them? Why would a kid play this over FIFA? And yeah, it was just a lot of questions, and I was devastated. And I thought it was the end of it, like this will never work. But then I started interrogating all these questions, and I love solving problems, so I started interrogating what is wrong with these people and what is wrong with me and this idea. And I realized that I have not yet invested as much as I should have in terms of my efforts and time and research. So I went back with my then flatmate and my classmate KG. We are doing electrical and computer. We're then doing electrical and computer engineering degree at UCT. So we started researching what makes a good game, what get people hooked on games, and what makes good interactive interfaces. And we started making these games. We started building these games. I also studied the curriculum. I went all out. I studied why is it that Singapore has excellent educational curriculums. Why is it that we have boys high and girls highs, Pretoria Girls High that is just 15 minutes away from a failing school in Mamelodi townships. I wanted to understand, like, what is the difference between the systems. And when, after getting all that information, I started now gamifying it. So we made actual games. And our aim was not to just make games, but make beautiful and very intruding games. So we wanted kids to be able to choose our games over FIFA, to choose our games over Need for Speed. And we had these games, cool. But the other question was, would the kids love it? So we went to the townships and villages that I was raised in. We started putting these games out and testing how the kids are reacting to these games. And we learned a lot from that, modified it, and made better games and better machines. But these machines are hosted in cases, as you can see. So we had to also make arcade boxes. Didn't have the money to get that manufactured for me, so we started collecting recyclables, hardboards, old monitors, and other e-waste. So the only thing we buy and the only thing we bought then and we still buy today is the microcontrollers to control the panel and a lot of technical things. And I'm also obsessed with beautiful things, so don't worry. Even if we're using recyclables, these machines are still beautiful and they're still attractive for kids to use. So we had all that figured out. Now we had the boxes from recyclables. We've built the games, and we had to go and pitch to these people again. So I invested I've been doing science all my life. I had to learn how to now write proposals, how to pitch to people, how to write business plans and so forth. So I did that, and I started emailing again. And this time, ta-da, the response was way better. And I believe it was way better because people saw that I'm investing my time and my efforts. I believe that people don't just want to give handouts. So people started putting in their money, and we have serviced the kids in Makapanstad village back in the northwest. We have serviced the kids in Gugulethu in the townships of Cape Town. But where are we taking this? I'm hoping in the nearest future that we're going to be able to service the kids in Rustenburg girls in the southern suburbs of Cape Town, Rondebosch, and we'll be able to take these machines to the villages in Eastern Cape. And in the whole process, I realized that it's not just a need, it's a need to a person who's not privileged, who doesn't have access to other complementary learning materials, but it can also be a luxury or an add-on to a person who has complementary materials. So I'm also thinking that we should not miss the opportunity to teach kids as they just be kids, as they just are playing. You know, I'm thinking that kids will be kids, as I've seen in my parents' entertainment centers. They will make their way to play, and in the process, maybe we can tap in and educate them. The lesson that I've taken from all this is to never take a no as an answer. And dreams don't choose. They don't see color, they don't see where you're coming from or who raised you. And if you put in more effort and your energy is in something, people can see and people pitch in and they come to help you. Thank you.